Hi, everybody, and it's a great pleasure to be here today. I'm going to take a few minutes to present an overview of the cybersecurity ecosystem in Northern Ireland. I've just gone one slide too far. So, the current digital sector in Northern Ireland has been developed by the impact of global trends. Local strengths have arisen from the foundation of having excellent academia in the country, which has created students with leading software engineering skills. These skills have flowed into the work environment from which a number of key clusters have developed. Through innovation, collaboration, and R&D, local businesses, international investors, and academia now work in partnership to address key global trends. One of these, quite obviously, is the cybersecurity ecosystem. On the slide here, we have the cybersecurity timeline of investments in Northern Ireland. So this is the international companies which have come to Northern Ireland and established presence based on the skills and talent which is available in Northern Ireland. A key moment in the evolution of the cybersecurity ecosystem in Northern Ireland was in 2009. You will see on the slide here CSIT, CSIT, the Centre for Secure Information Technologies, which is a centre part of the Queen's University in Belfast. Now, whenever this was established in 2009, a number of US investors were attracted to Northern Ireland by the potential of undertaking cybersecurity research and development with CSIT. And as you can see, since then, there have been a number. The first really after that was Q1 Labs, which was then bought over by IBM Security. But as we went through the following decade, a number of large investments followed. For example, in 2019, Contrast Security, a California-based cybersecurity company, created 120 jobs in our capital, Northern Ireland, or our capital, Belfast. In 2019, we saw the announcement of 150 jobs by Aflac, the major US insurance company, who established a cybersecurity innovation centre in Northern Ireland. 2020 has seen a number of announcements. Probably the most recognizable has been Microsoft, which was chose Northern Ireland as the location for a new cybersecurity centre, which will provide support to Microsoft's largest enterprise customers across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So it will come as no great surprise that Northern Ireland is the #1 international investment location for US cybersecurity firms. In addition to this, Northern Ireland is the world's top region for financial services technology inward investment. And Belfast, our capital, is also Europe's leading foreign direct investment destination for new software development. I'm going to come back now to CSIT, as I mentioned a moment ago. So CSIT is certified by GCHQ as an academic centre of excellence in cybersecurity research. GCHQ in the UK is our government communications headquarters. It is the UK's innovation and knowledge centre for secure information technologies. As I mentioned, it acted as the pivot for the local industry, attracting inward investment that could leverage its research capabilities. It also supplies talent to the workforce and to our pool of companies through its master's and PhD programs. It's a core player in the cybersecurity global research network and continues to stay ahead of the curve by participating in innovative programs such as the Lorca Accelerator, which is the London office for rapid cybersecurity advancement. It brings together research specialists in data encryption, network security systems, wireless-enabled security systems, and intelligence surveillance technology. And if I just move on to the next slide, we can see that CSIT is a member, was actually a founding partner of the Global Ecosystems Partnership in Innovation and Cybersecurity, otherwise known as Global EPIC. which now counts over 28 institutions in 17 countries as members. CSIT also holds a World Cyber Summit each year, although this year, because of the COVID outbreak, it had to postpone this. But this brings together a small and select group of international cybersecurity experts each year. The output from this summit informs the CSIT Research and Innovation Roadmap. So it brings together the best minds globally to inform the research roadmap going forward. The companies then who work with CSIT benefit from the output of this. I'm going to take a moment now to actually look at our homegrown cybersecurity companies. On the left-hand side, you can see a number of names. There are a number of factors which have contributed to the development of our homegrown companies, such as an entrepreneurial culture, which we have in Northern Ireland. We also have, as I have just mentioned, had foreign direct investment in the area of cybersecurity. Now, this has helped to spin out a number of companies, both from CSIT and from the companies, the international companies which have invested in Northern Ireland. Staff very often wish to express their own creativity in solutions and establish their own companies. From this, a number of our homegrown cybersecurity companies have evolved. We have a culture of incubation and acceleration. We have a number of accelerators and incubators in Northern Ireland focused on digital ICT. CSIT itself used to run CSIT Labs, which was an incubation and acceleration unit. It now participates in the London Office for Rapid Cybersecurity Advancement Programme, and a number of Northern Ireland companies have gone through this programme. So companies in Northern Ireland are very much supported in the cybersecurity area. We have research and development. So for Northern Ireland companies, they can avail of R&D support through Invest Northern Ireland grants, through competitions and grant awards through UK bodies and European bodies. So there is funding there to stimulate innovative products and projects. We have a great pool of skills in Northern Ireland in terms of what is coming out of university. And not only that, but skills that are coming out of school and out of our higher education colleges. We have a number of programs, which I will go through in a moment, to try and accelerate our skill pool and ensure the right skills are getting into the workplace. And through our own organisation, we encourage trade development. We take our local group of companies on trade missions and to expos throughout the world. And finally, we encourage clustering. So we have funded the companies to come together and to establish a cluster where they can work together to attract opportunities for themselves and to work together to establish how to best build business development and business development practices so that they can target export opportunities. So a number of these factors in terms of the growth of the local homegrown companies is supported by government funding and government bodies. Moving on now. Sorry. Our cybersecurity companies, our local ones, again are on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, you can see the foreign direct investment companies. You can see there's a greater number, and that would be reflective if we had a look at all the companies in the industry. You will also notice that there are some companies in this group who are not necessarily cybersecurity companies. Some of them offer cybersecurity products, some of them offer cybersecurity services, and actually a number of companies such as Citi, such as Allstate will have global presences in Northern Ireland, and they will base their cybersecurity operations in Northern Ireland. So their internal cybersecurity functions are based in Northern Ireland because of the talent and skills in the local market. Here, I'd just like to take a couple of slides to briefly provide an overview of the subsectors in terms of the cybersecurity industry in Northern Ireland. We have quite a range from secure networks, and you can see some of the companies that will be in that area. We have surveillance over IP. We have real-time intelligence. A number of our foreign direct investors in particular are operating in this area. Sigilant was one of our most recent investors establishing a presence in Northern Ireland this year. We move on, we have a number of companies working in the area of fraud detection, in compliance as well, finance and secure comms. So for example, you'll see Assault DNA there, and John is on the call from Assault DNA. And finally, in Internet of Things, we have a number of companies working in this area. And some of the skills and areas of work amongst those subsectors, we have skills working in cryptography, people working in OPSEC, DevOps, behavioral analytics, governance, application security, network security, mobile security, cloud and data security, and a couple of others I haven't mentioned there. It just shows that we have a wide range of skills and organizations and companies working across all these areas in Northern Ireland, whether they be local companies or foreign direct investment companies. And in terms of our international development, as I mentioned before, our own organization, Invest Northern Ireland, heavily encourages our companies, whether they be local or FDIs who have established in Northern Ireland, to work with us and to let us help them export. So in 2019, one of the ways in which we did this was to sign a memorandum of understanding with the state of Maryland in the US, which is right at the top of the field in terms of cybersecurity, the number of professionals it has working in cybersecurity, the number of companies who are working both in the commercial and the defense sectors. So we work in terms of sharing ideas, information in terms of skills, trade, investment, R&D. Our first Invest Northern Ireland Cybersecurity Roadshow took place in the East Coast USA in October 29, visiting the cities of Boston, New York, Washington, and Baltimore, where we lined up meetings for our companies with potential buyers in each of these cities. We had a mission this year, earlier this year, to the RSA Cybersecurity Conference in San Francisco. And as I mentioned earlier, we have established the Northern Ireland Cybersecurity Cluster. Invest Northern Ireland funds this, bringing the companies together themselves to help them internally, amongst themselves, promote international business, innovation, and collaboration opportunities. I mentioned skills before as well. And this is some of the ways, these are some of the ways in which we address skills to ensure that the right skills are coming into the workplace at the right times. We have our the MSc in Applied Cybersecurity, which is run by CSIT, who also have students completing postdoctorates. We have the Future Skills Academy system. So this is whereby we will take students who have degrees, but not necessarily technical or digital ICT degrees. And in a rapid program of anything between 8 to 12 weeks, we will intensively train them in an area of digital ICT. Many cybersecurity companies have worked with us where they will have specified the skills that they require in the company. And together, we will work with them on delivering a curriculum so that the staff that come out of that are able to go immediately into the workplace and work with them and have the appropriate skills. And this will include industry qualifications. We also have higher level apprenticeship in place, in higher level apprenticeships in cybersecurity and networking infrastructure through one of our higher education colleges, Belfast Metropolitan College. So we have a number of ways to try and introduce a variety of skills at different levels into the workplace. And moving on to our final slide, we have, just to wrap up the Northern Ireland proposition. So technically a strong workforce with cybersecurity expertise. We do have an existing record over a number of years of attracting digital ICT foreign direct investment projects. And now we have a great focus on cybersecurity projects with the anchors that we've had. We've invested, particularly from the USA. There is government support available for all organisations, from Invest Northern Ireland, our Department for the Economy, and for our education sector. CSIT is a shining light. Its research base, its engineering skills, its incubation availability, and its global reputation, which is attracting foreign direct investment to Northern Ireland in association with ourselves. We have a growing cluster. It's a mix of product and service companies with great collaboration potential to push itself forward. And a key factor which we brought into play last year was our Memorandum of Understanding with Maryland in the USA. We work together on trade, investment skills, and research and development. We're starting to see that work permeate through to our local ecosystem. So thank you very much, and that is the end of my presentation.